So today we want to discuss about the roles and importance of photography in the society. Why do we need photography? And the reason why we need photography and the reasons why people are making money from photography as well. When you know the reason why something should exist, then you can actually turn those things into money-making ventures. See, about my need Latin, then we can start a pure water business or a bottled water business, just because we know that people need to drink. So the same thing in photography. When you realize the reason for photography, why photography should exist in a society, then you will realize the area of business you can concentrate your ideas on. And the primary purpose of photography in the society is, number one, is to document and to preserve. That is the first and the primary purpose of any photography. You want to document it and also to preserve it. So now it's a win-win situation. When you document something, you already recorded it, and at the same time you are preserving it. So because you've recorded it, you are preserving it for generations unborn to see. There are a lot of olden days photographs that when you see them today, they give you the knowledge of what happened in those days. Now, documentation in this process that, let's take for instance, wedding, which is the most common portrait event. Now, wedding, when you photograph wedding, you are documenting the event. You are documenting the entire process, the stages from where the grooms or the brides are getting ready to when they get to the exchange of vows, to reception and everything like that. So you are documenting the process so that in the next future, by the time they sit down and look through the pictures, they are seeing everything that happened during that event, during the whole day. For the photographs you took, you preserve them for generations to come. So primarily, even without anybody telling you anything, the first thing that photography does for us in society is to help us document the process. Now you are even seeing, I'm recording that video now, I'm documenting it, and I'm preserving it. Now that preservation, it might determine how long it will be. And the pirating saying, and they decide to delete it, go me money, and model file for as long as possible. And they have to post it on the internet for it to be there forever and ever until internet ceases to exist. So it's always like that. That is the first and the most important role of photography. So that whatever we do today, we are able to see it tomorrow. The second role that photography does for us in the society is it helps us to communicate and to inform. It helps us to communicate and to inform. Now, communication in the sense that we need to pass out certain information. Let's say during the COVID, a lot of photographs came out then on how you can preserve yourself, how to wear your nose mask, how to wash your hand, and how to do a lot of things like that. Some people were photographed in order to pass that information to the society. So without those kind of information, without those kind of pictures, then there won't be this opportunity to showcase those kind of information or to tell you those kind of information. Or even if they have to tell you, it will be a kind of descriptive information, and it may not be that comprehensive. It won't be that comprehensive because you are not seeing what they are describing to you. It's just when you are in primary school and they tell you E for elephant. E for elephant, you never see any elephant before, but they describe it to you that elephant is one of the largest animals in the whole world. It has a very big ear and a very long nose, a very long tusk, and stuff like that, and they can begin to imagine. But by the time they show you the picture, you have a perfect understanding of what that elephant look like. The same thing. So for information and communication, we need photographs, especially in educating ourselves. The third reason why you need photography is for art and creativity. Art and creativity. Art and creativity is just that whatever we do for photography is an aspect of fine art. It is an aspect of fine art. Whatever we do in photography, it's an aspect of fine art, because before photography existed, fine art already existed. So photography was coined out of fine art. Some people tried to look at it as, okay, if it takes us 6, 7, 1 month to produce an art piece, then we can shorten the whole process into probably a day, some hours, and now into some seconds. So that was how they invented camera. So another primary purpose of it is that you use it for art and creativity. The majority of what you will do as a portrait photographer is almost going to be art and creativity. People want to see how creative you are. They want to see how beautiful you can present something they've been seeing before. You might just be walking by a road, saw a beautiful landscape. Other people may not see it until you photograph it and show it to them. They will say, wow, so that thing existed there. And now, as you are sitting in front of me now, I would like to take your photograph in a kind of way that will look astonishing to people, depending on how I position my light and stuff like that. So a lot of things will come into play in that, and that will bring out your creativity. So people use photographs to create art pieces. So in these days, we have people who call themselves fine art photographers. Like that man I showed you his picture yesterday, Big H. Most of his works are fine arts. They try to create it to look as if it's an art piece. It's not just ordinary pictures. So they don't just take it. They bring a lot of elements into the picture to make it look artistic, to make it look a lot creative. So that is another primary purpose, for you to show how creative you are as an artist. Another thing is you need it for education and research. You need photography for education and research. Like the example of the elephant I gave the other time. Yeah, that was you sitting in a class in your primary school and you being taught about an elephant that you've never seen. But because they were able to show you the picture, you understand what an elephant looks like, even if you have not seen it up to today. So that you are now. Even myself, I've never seen any live elephant, but I've seen it in a lot of pictures and a lot of videos. So, because photograph exists, we have something to teach ourselves. Because we have those pictures now, we have something to teach us. We have something to teach us about a particular thing. Now, in research as well, we need photographs, because we can compile a lot of pictures together to see the differences that have occurred from one age to another age. Like the people of, when you are studying anatomy of human being, you present a lot of pictures of how people started looking from 2 billion years ago up to this present age. So you can see how they said that human being developed from ape, and now until now this kind of human being. You see a lot of genetic differences. So if there are no peculiar representations of those ages, there won't be anything to compare. In any society as well, you can say, okay, you can just decide, okay, let me pick this environment. Every week I'll be photographing this area. Every week I'm photographing this area in order to know the changes that occur in this environment. So once you know the changes, then you can now begin to do research about it. What causes the changes and what are the effect of the changes that happen. So with the photographs, you can do a lot of research. So photographs also give you the opportunity to educate yourself and to research about so many things. The fifth one is advocacy and activism. Advocacy and activism. In the sense that you need photographs to advocate for something, especially if you want to press government to do something. Let's say, for example, there's a community now that they are suffering from water. You may decide to go and take photographs of those kind of community in order to present it to the government, especially if the government has been fumbling before that they are doing a lot of things about water for people. But you needed something to tell them that they are not doing anything about water. So you can now go to a community that is really suffering from water, or even at that community that they say that they produce water for, that they've made water for, are feeling for them. Go there and then do research, take photographs, and still present to the people that even the government is saying that they are doing this, they are not doing anything at all. This is the photograph to tell you that they are not doing anything. So you are advocating for those people. That is one. The what's it called? The research, the documentation I did last year that won me the award I won in January was also a kind of advocacy. It's a kind of advocacy against discrimination against people living with disabilities. So the documentary was showcasing people who are living with disabilities but who are doing well or who are independent on their own. They don't depend on anybody, they have their work, they are doing fine with themselves. So they have quality work. So we want to show it to the people so that they can know that, okay, even if people are living with disabilities, they still have their lives to live and live it appropriately. So you don't need to stigmatize against anybody. So that is kind of advocacy. So activism. So you are presenting it to agitate for a change in the society. So those are the primary 5 roles a photograph or photographs can play in our society. Are you getting it now?
Yes.
So it extends beyond that. The more you can think, the more you know. Now, if you look at all these areas that we've discussed now, you can see that every one of them presents opportunity for one business or the other. So, because you will begin to ask now that, okay, if people are now doing, okay, there's something like number 6, let's put that one, which is for news and journalism. It says something happened somewhere. If there are no photographers to go there, take the pictures, and then write the news about it, you may not be able to see what really transpired in that event. If they said that our government is coming to Okio today, fine, it may came, but we need something to tell us that we actually came. We need the videos, we need the pictures, so that by the time they are writing the news, they can show us the pictures that, okay, Imakinde was actually in Okio today. So in journalism and news as well, we need a lot of photographs as well. So, like I was saying, you will begin to ask yourself, how do they make money? By that you dig through all these roles that they play, you now begin to say, okay, if I'm a photojournalist, I'm a photojournalist, then who are the people that will be demanding my pictures? Then those newspapers, TV stations are the people that I can sell my pictures to, because those are the people that my picture will be serving. So if I'm into documentations now, who are the people that will demand my documents? Probably if you are into wildlife, you are documenting a particular animal now, then you can begin to look for TV stations like Animal Planet, Wildlife, and so many organizations like that. And you can now present your documentations to them, then they can look at this, or documentaries to them. You can look at this, if they like it, they purchase it from you. If they don't like it, they say you, okay, please, you can try again later. But even before you do that, you will have known their own requirements as well. What kind of pictures they take, what kind of qualities they want, so that you don't just go and waste your time producing what people will not need. Because everything have specifications. So you knowing all the specifications, then you will be able to know which area you want to concentrate your own idea. And that leads us to what we call niches in photography or genres of photography. There are a lot of genres of photography. I always tell people, in as much as the word exists, anything in it can be a genre of photography. Except the word ceases to exist today. Even outside the world now, people go into the space and they bring us photographs of what happened in the space. So those kind of people can call themselves space photographer. So it is not limited to a particular, as much as the word exists. You can decide to be plant photographer. You can decide to be animal photographer. So it depends on you. But basically, let's just look at those that are like prominent ones in the in genres of photography. So the one that is most common that everybody likes to do is portrait photography, and that is you taking pictures of human being, especially the face of human beings, that captures the expression and the the expression, let's put it that way, that captures the expression of that individual. It is called portrait. So whatever pictures you took of any human being is a portrait. But even inside that portrait photography, we have different other aspects of it. Okay? So, but generally, when you take pictures of people, called a portrait photographer. So it is the most common, out of which we have studio photography, we have wedding photography, we have birthday and stuff like that. So every other thing like that is embedded in portrait photography. We have head shots, beauty shots and stuff like that. So everything like that is embedded in portrait photography. And we have landscape photography. Landscape deals with beautiful sight scenes, places you can see, bushes, mountains, forests, and a lot of places like that. They are called landscape photography. So it's an aspect as well of photography. So if you decide you are tired of shooting human beings, like Kilichi Abadio did in 2022 to 2023, he was tired of shooting human beings and decided, okay, what else can I try? I said, okay, he was going to photograph beautiful landscapes around Nigeria. And he started the project, he wrote the proposal, and he looked for a sponsor that can help him pull it through. Because to be a landscape photographer, you're going to need a lot of money. The travel cost, the feeding cost, the insurance cost, let me put it, because sometimes you may go up there and you fall down and your camera may fall and stuff like that. So you need insurance. Plus, you have a comprehensive insurance to protect yourself against any kind of damages while you are doing all those stuff. So it involves a lot of money. So what he did was that by the time he wanted to do that project, that he wanted to photograph beautiful landscapes around Nigeria, then they got a company that can sponsor the project. And what the company got in return was that he was advertising for the company. So the company got associated with him, and he was now promoting the company's products. So it's a win-win for them. They gave him money to do his own personal project, and he was advertising their own product as well. So it's a win-win for both of them. Because ordinarily, before that time, many people doesn't really know about that brand. But because he brought them into his own project, a lot of people get to know about that brand. So it's a win-win situation for both of them. So you can decide, okay, I don't have money to travel around Nigeria, but at least within Okio, I can travel around Okio and take beautiful portraits, beautiful landscapes around Okio. So you can do that. So, and you may be wondering, how would they make money? What would they do with the photographs after you've taken the pictures and you see that they are beautiful? What would they do with the pictures here? There's something we call exhibition. Any artist can do exhibition. So in exhibition, when we will talk about exhibition later. So in an exhibition, you gather people who love art, people who like creative things. Then you showcase your art, and they come, they buy it. You'll have put them in different frame sizes. Then you display it. People will come, they will negotiate it, they purchase it, and then you have your money. So that is one area by which you can earn money as a landscape photographer. Another one is wildlife photography. That is taking pictures of wild animals. You go into the bush and start taking pictures of wild animals. Like the example I showed you yesterday, like that guy going to the bush, taking pictures of lions and stuff like that. So the people like that all they do is what? is to take pictures of wild animals. They literally live in the bush. Some have been doing that for the past 25 years, and they are following one particular animal. They know it by date of birth, they know it by age, they know it by color, they know it by everything. Because they've been following it right from the day, in fact, from the day it was conceived, till the day, probably till the day he died. So they follow the process. In fact, at the point in time, the animals will get to know them. They will have known that, okay, this man has come again. So they become friends at a point in time. So wildlife photography, just people that takes photographs of animals in the bush. So along that side as well, we have pet photography as well. Pet photography is domestic animals that live in the house. So we have people who take photographs of them as well. Pet photography. So they are like related. So the only thing is just that some are the other ones are living in the bush. This one are living with human beings. So another one is street photography. Street photography. We just like seeing or showcasing what is happening around the streets. There's one guy in Lagos now, though that one is a TikToker. He called himself Naked Street Boy. So every day he will just carry his camera. He will just be doing live, showcasing everywhere around Lekki. Showcasing everywhere around Lagos. You pointing to you. This is Mr. Bisio, this is clinical, that's all he do. And he's gaining a lot of attention on TikTok. And he's earning a lot of money through TikTok. All because he's just walking around Lagos every morning. And we're telling you, in this area, there's no hold up doesn't have this area doesn't usually have hold up because people are clinical. I will tell you a lot of stories. That was all he does was street photography. It's an example. Whatever he does is an example of street photography. Now, what he's doing, his own is just that he's showing video. But in street photography as well, they're taking pictures. They're taking a lot of pictures of a particular street or how people are just going about their own daily lives. So that is street photography. Architectural photography as well. That one deals with real estate, buildings, magnificent buildings, how big or how magnificent building is, how beautiful it is. That one is called architectural photography. We have area photography as well. Area, that means we are taking the pictures from above. That one is area photography. We are taking the picture from above. So there are a lot of people that invest their own time doing that. Before it's not something easy because they have to get either into the helicopter or into the plane. That will do that. But these days, with the advent of drone, it is easy. All you need is just to fly your drone up. Area photography is not easy because all you need to do is just to fly your drone up high and start taking pictures. So people who do area photography are more or less like people who do architectural or landscape photography, because majority of the things they take photograph of it from the area is that the buildings or the landscape in most cases. So, but because they take the pictures from above, so they regarded themselves as area photographers. So we have macro photographies as well. Macro is that it's very small objects like flower, ants, and stuff like that. Very small objects like that. And people specialize in taking small objects as well. They have their special lenses that they use. Because for every of those things that you have been mentioning, there are particular or specified lenses for those kind of works. For instance, if you are into wildlife photography now, you're going to need a very long range of lens. Sorry, you're going to need a very long range of lens, very wide range, like 600, 1200, and just like that. So, when you are to portrait, you will not need more than 85 mm, or at most probably 135 or so, if you like zooming a lot. So, there are specific lenses for particular kinds of photography.